Hey, so I'm Andrew, and I'm going to be talking to you about a senior project class at Indiana Wesleyan. Um, for my senior project, I'm working with Isaac Blasiman, and our senior project is making an app to track meal attendance for St. Martin Community Center. It's a local community center in Marion. It's pretty great. Um, so what the need for the app is that St. Martin needs something that when the guests come in to get their free meal, they can sign in, and St. Martin can keep track of all those signatures for when they're registering for grants and things later. So right now they're using a paper-based system, and at the end of each day they have to tally up all of the meals that they gave out, whether it was for breakfast or lunch, and whether it was adult or a child, and they need to file those away for later on in case they have like an audit, or if they need those numbers for, as I said, a grant or something like that. So we talked with Teresa, and she said this was like a really big concern for them. So we said we would probably be able to make an app to do that for her. So that's what we decided to do for our senior project.
Hey guys, this is Isaac, and I'm working with Andrew on the St. Martin's Meal Attendance app. I wanted to talk to you guys about three things in particular that we learned while working on the St. Martin's Meal Attendance app. The first is organization is key. We spent a lot of time organizing our app, creating a Kanban-like board, tracking our tasks and issues, and we do not regret a lot of that time spent. It was time well spent, and if you're working on any sort of project that involves more work than your first Python script in high school, you're probably going to want to do some sort of organization. It will help you make the project go quicker, not slower like you might think. The second is prioritization. A lot of places where we had issues with a project or things took longer than we expected were that we didn't understand what was critical to be done at that time. For example, we ran into a situation recently where we were trying to set up servers on our development machines, and really the critical part of the project at that point was just to continue implementation and get the server on the client machine. So make sure that, if possible, you know what is critical for the project at the time that you're working on it, and get that piece done. The third is don't be afraid to try new things and learn new things and new methodologies, new languages. You're going to run into a lot of situations where you do not know what's going on, and you're trying to learn a new language or learn just something new, and you've just got to jump in head first with both feet. That metaphor makes sense, and make sure that you're just learning what you can. It's going to be hard, and you're going to feel like a fish out of water, but at the end of it, you're going to be glad that you did it. And so at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Andrew to show you guys some of the features of our project.
So as far as the actual app goes, when you start it up, it's going to take you to this screen where you can choose between meal attendance or view signatures. At the beginning, we're just going to go ahead and click on meal attendance, and then they'll be taken to this screen where they can choose adult or child from either of these buttons. If you choose adult, it'll take you to this nice screen here where you can go ahead and sign your name or whatever, and then if you hit the red X, it'll clear it. But if you hit the green check, it'll go ahead and save that to the database. An important note right now, it's not actually saving to the database, it's just saving locally to your computer because there are some issues with PHP not working out for that. But anywho, if you go back to the main menu now, and you click on this view signatures, it's going to take you to the screen where you can select the date range. So I'm just going to say the 14th through the 15th because I've got some dates that I threw into the database for this to pull from, and then it's going to submit, and this is going to take you over to this PHP function here which loads up just a nice little cross tab of everything saved into the database there. And then once you're on the screen, you can enter again. I'll show you just one specific day so you can see these numbers be different. And there you go, cut off the extras from the 15th. And then if you want to see how this table is actually set up on the server, I can take you over here to PHP My Admin. Log in. And over here we have our meal attendance table, and signature entries is where all of these are going. And yeah, here are all of the signatures. We got the adult and child status, and the day and time stamp. There's also a blob associated with these, and a unique ID that we'll be adding.